Hey guys, John here from TeamBurningInfinitey, bring you guys another Buddyfight deck profile, and this time we got my Demon Lords for my birthday. I'm recording this on my birthday, but you're probably getting this on the next day, probably the 19th or the 20th. Uh, Depends on future Jalen. Because I've been spending the whole day with my girlfriend. I'm kind of recording this before she picks me up. In any case, I turned 21. Definitely gonna be drinking. I just really wanted to get out this deck profile one because we haven't uploaded in a while. Huh, how many times have I said that? But now I finally get a really good tripod to do a lot of match videos, and we're gonna be doing a ton of Solar Strike deck profiles, so look forward to that. So in any case, let's get on to my favorite deck, which is Demon Lords, and here's my Secret Flag Miseria, and my buddy Great Demon Lord of Thunderstorm Bots 727. Size 3, double attack, lifelink 2, 2 gauge to call. You can't be destroyed during your turn if he's in your center. And if he's in your center, you can use his act to discard a card and call a size 3 Demon Lord from your deck by paying its call cost. And it's a size 0 until it leaves the field. Absolutely great card. It's the glue that holds this deck together. So let me just get on to the rest. Next up, we have 3 copies of Mysterious Fortune Teller Sophia. She's a size 1, the only non-demon lord in my deck. She's just here for her main ability, which is when she enters the field, you can discard a card and search for a card with set. It's to search Satsuki Palace. She's here to search Satsuki Palace. That's her main purpose. Her discard is not bad because I can end up discarding a demon lord that I want to put in Satsuki Palace, so there's no downside. So, yeah, she's at 3. 1 copy of Demon Lord Ibuki, 726, and when he enters the field by a card effect, then you can destroy a monster in your opponent's field. If you do, you take away gauge, and they take 1 damage. That's ambush, but that's not really important. This card is just great for just being a slow, annoying factor for your opponent when you call it off Satsuki Palace, and just in general, it takes away their gauge. It just is really annoying for your opponent. Then we have 1 copy of Burnt Demon Lord, Blazing Phoenix, 10-1, size 3, double attack, lifelink 1, soul guard, 2 gauge top deck soul, and when it attacks, you can put a dungeon from your drop zone to the bottom of your deck. If you do, destroy a monster in your opponent's field. And since it is double attack, you can activate it more than once. So it's just really great for dealing with boards, especially with that 10k power. The lifelink 1 barely ever matters. Then we have 1 copy of Crystal Demon Lord Athora, 2 gauge top deck soul, double attack, soul guard, lifelink 2. Reduces the burn damage from your opponent by 1, and when you have a monster in your center or a spell, they can't be destroyed by card effects. So this card is just really great for protecting Satsuki Palace and my bots in the center most of the time, if not anything else that's called off Satsuki. Then we have 2 copies of Demon Lord's Arm Controller, Chaos Constructor. 725, size 3, pay gauge, and when it enters the field, you can call a Demon Lord from your hand by paying its call cost, or a Chaos, but if you call a Demon Lord, its size becomes 0 until it leaves the field, and when you have 3 more monsters, this card gets Penetrate. This card is just great for getting a full field off, and it's pretty alright. 1 copy of Chaos Rad Romo, 525, size 3, and when it enters the field, you get a gauge, but then if he's entered the field by a card effect, you also get a draw. He's just really great first turn and really good off Satsuki Palace. Speaking of cards really good off Satsuki Palace, we have Guardian of Demon Lord Castle, Deo Cruzar, 837, 2 gauge, top deck soul, soul guard, lifelink 2, and when it enters the field, you can add destruction or Demon Lord from your drop zone to your hand. Absolutely great to grab Abominable Ritual or Satsuki Palaces that end up in the drop if someone destroyed them or something. Just really great card. It can add back almost 100% of my deck. Next up, we have 2 copies of Overturn Ice Emperor Miseria, 2 gauge, spell from dropping the soul, double attack soul guard, lifelink 2, and the Overturn to return all cards, to nullify all cards in the field, and to return all cards from hand, field, gauge, and drop back to the deck. Soul does not count. Soul is not part of the field, and it's not in any of the other designated areas. So Soul goes to drop after this resolves, and you end up drawing 6. Both players draw 6 and get 2 gauge. Basically resets the board without resetting life, so it really helps with a deck that can easily OTK like mine. where I can make him a 0 with Bots' ability, and then I can make him attack. Well, I have used Bots to call something like Jackknife, and then that's 12 damage on board. So because 3 double attackers, all 2 crit. Anyway, just a really great card. Love it. It helps with Demon Lords. Really low hand size when you get to the late game. So really good. Next up, we have 3 copies of Interstellar Great Demon Lord Jackknife 725. Card from dropping the Soul 2 gauge. Soul Guard, and it gets on the beginning of your attack phase. It gets either a card from drop to put it in the gauge or his soul. And then if he has 2 or more soul, then he gets penetrating double attack when he attacks. Just really great card, probably the best target off Bots. And since we went over Bots, I'm not going to go into further explanation there. Then we have 1 copy of Time Sail, 2 gauge and 2 life, draw 2, and then if you're at 3 or less life, you don't have to pay its call cost. It is a good generic draw 2 spell that I decided to run because I didn't like the 4th copy of Unfreezing, and just in general, I do keep a lot of gauge when I have Satsuki Palaces out, because then it starts making almost everything in my deck free, so I don't have to worry about paying gauge anymore. So, might as well put it to good use. Next up, we have 2 copies of Demon Lord's Invasion. Pay gauge, search for a Demon Lord monster that's not an impact monster, and then add it to your hand. You can only use it once per turn. Simple enough. Get Bots. 2 copies of the new spell from Buddy Legends, Demon Lord's Armor. Demon Lord's Armor, you can you cast, you put it in the soul of a Demon Lord. It gives that Demon Lord Soul Guard. It prevents all your cards' abilities from being nullified, and during the beginning of each attack phase, then you minus the card's power on your power and defense by 2,000, and minus 1 crit for a card on your opponent's field. Absolutely great. Love getting it back with Ikaruga, putting in the soul of Satsuki. Just great card. 1 copy of Unfreezing. Pay alive. Look at top 3. 1 goes to your hand. Rest go to bottom. Only once per turn. Just great 1 for 1. 3 copy of Raise Castle Town. It's your rest card. If you have 2 more monsters on the field, then counter rest the monster on your opponent's field. Just decent card enough. Helps with the defense. Good for resting things like Corpse Leader Bots or stuff like that. The damn near staple of the deck, bonus quest. Discard a size 2 or greater. Gain 2 gauge, gain a life, draw 2, only once per turn. Best card. If bonus quest isn't best card, then this is Demon Lord, Castle of the Sky, Satsuki Palace. As a cast cost of putting 2 Demon Lords for you, drop into a soul. Of course, it's a set spell. It reduces the gauge cost for your Demon Lords other than from your hand by 1 gauge. And it has the counter ability to, if you have no monster in the center, then you can call a card from its soul by paying its call cost. And you can only use that ability once per turn. Satsuki Palace is probably the best spell in the entire deck. If not, it's bonus quest, but close contention. They both do so much for the deck, and they work great in tandem. So, yeah. 4 copies of Magical Eyes Release. You can only cast if you have a Demon Lord in the field, get 2 gauge, and then you remove a card from your opponent's gauge. I love spamming this and then using Ikaruga to get it back and then do it again. I don't care about gaining so much gauge. It's more so I love taking away my opponent's gauge with this card. Then we have 1 copy of Abominable Ritual. Abominable Ritual, you can only cast it when your Demon Lord is being attacked. Negate the attack, gain a gauge and a life. Just really, really great card. Divine Protection of Shalsana, here it is at 4. Just basically your other nullifier. Pay gauge, nullify an attack during your opponent's turn, and gain a life. It's just damn near staple. Best close range shield. Anyway, hope you guys liked this video. Subscribe to TeamBurningInfinitey for more Buddyfight content. I'll see you guys later. General from TBI Infinitey going out.